Welcome to another episode of the Online Prosperity Experience podcast. You're about to hear your host, Prosper Taravinga's powerful digital marketing strategies and actionable tactics that you can use right now. Prosper has helped more than 50,000 people from over 10 countries to create meaningful businesses that are profitable and enjoyable. Listen to this podcast so that you too can build your own business with less stress and overwhelm. Let's get started.
The two words that open the most doors in your marketing. Now, if you're a coach or consultant, you would understand that, growing your business is one of the, prerogatives that you have. And the two words that I'm going to be talking about in this podcast are the ones that you need to be using through and through in order for you to have a business that's profitable and enjoyable. Now, I got a question for you. All right. What have you done today? All right. Or maybe in the last couple of days to market your coaching, your consulting, or your small to medium business? Okay. What is it that you have done? A lot of people get confused or get pretty much overwhelmed. They don't know whether to go on social media. They don't know if they need to do SEO. They don't know if they need to do ads, or they don't know if they need to, be doing all these things, or maybe videos on TikTok in order for them to reach out to their audience. Now, I'm going to be just telling you two words that you really need to concentrate on to make sure that you're doing something every single day in order for you to be reaching out to your audience. And why is this important? Because it takes an average 8 to 13 times for somebody to actually start getting to know, like, and trust your business. And you don't have the time to be sitting around nurturing people. You want to be sitting around solving your clients' problems and helping them navigate the world around them. So, in the world that I live in, a lot of coaches, consultants, and small to medium businesses, particularly those that are probably just getting started, or people that are maybe trying to pivot, which is what a lot of people did in the last couple of years after the pandemic. They just think that maybe promoting their business is something that needs to be done occasionally, and you know what I call that? I call that random acts of marketing. Now, if you're not out there showing up in front of your audiences, if you're not educating your audiences, if you're not providing value, how do you expect people to know of you or your own existence? And things that I, refer to as random acts of marketing is probably, you cold calling potential clients out there and they not even know who you are and they end up hanging up in your face. That would actually put an enormous strain on your self-esteem, and then you start thinking that the world is against you. But no, people just don't know you, or think that spending time with you is going to be of value to them. That also goes for maybe just sending out hundreds of random emails and hoping that somebody's going to respond back and say, hey, pick me, I'm ready to start working with you. And if you don't get people reaching out to you saying, hey, thank you so much for sending me your health or wealth or relationship information, I was thirsty for that information, you feel like you've wasted your time or you're a failure. And I know a lot of people that are spending thousands and thousands of dollars on ad spend without even generating any qualified leads. Why do you think companies like TikTok or Meta, which was formerly known as Facebook, are always experimenting on how to get more of your money? Is because people are willing to pay. And a lot of money that I call stupid money is being spent, on ad spend, and it's not even generating any qualified leads. Okay. So if you want to stop random acts of marketing and actually start creating for and relating to your audience, this is a podcast that you need to, listen to. And this is the time when I encourage you to subscribe so that you never miss out on any of these valuable insights that come through. So, like I was saying, a lot of coaches and consultants that end up working with us, particularly if they just sort of maybe getting started, they think that promoting their business is something that you want to be doing occasionally. All right, and I would want to strongly suggest that this not be the case, especially for your business if you want it to be profitable and enjoyable. Okay, because if you don't want to feel like nobody wants to buy your stuff that you're selling, and if you are relying on your business to actually put food on the table, so you'd really want to not partake in any of these random acts of marketing. So promoting and marketing your business is something that you should be doing on a daily basis, consistently. Okay, you might get tired of hearing your own voice. You might get tired of seeing your own photos. You might get tired, of hearing your message over and over and over again. But every time that you show up in either on social media or on the internet, or if somebody looks you up online and then they find you, that's starting their journey. That's the first time they've probably heard of you. Okay, so you need to make sure that you're nurturing them and you're putting them, you're giving them enough information to make a decision to then work with you in the future, which basically, means that they're going to be converting into a customer that pays, stays, and refers. But you want to do that without you burning out. And that's the reason why I'm going to be telling you the two most important words that will open the most doors, in your marketing. All right. And you might be thinking, wait a minute, every day? What am I going to be doing? How am I not going to burn out or start sounding like a broken record, out there and just repeating my message and maybe annoying people and alienating people, or even end up, getting people unsubscribing or writing terrible reviews on Google saying, oh my God, look out for this guy. He's always out there every single day with his podcast or whatever valuable information that he gives out. So yeah, every day you have to be promoting your business every single day. And even that is actually something very small. You know what I mean? We've got 24 hours in a day. You should be utilizing 25 of those 24 hours to put your message to the right kind of people with the right kind of pain and show them that you are willing and able to help them. All right. So if you're wondering what you could be doing on a daily basis, all right, this is what you need to be doing. All right. It's super, super easy. And I've divided it into two sections and two simple words that you see every single day when you enter into a building: push and pull. And then I'm going to be giving you, a bonus, which is basically engage if we do have time on the podcast. I'm surprised we're already 8 minutes in and I haven't actually gone into the brass and tackle of this podcast. But that's what happens when you're having fun. All right, so let's start off with push marketing. Okay, so I'll give you a story just so you have an understanding and then you can walk with me on this one. All right, so you've probably bought something, maybe a car, you've probably bought a laptop, you probably bought a television or tickets to the opera, or maybe tickets to a cruise with your family. Something, you bought something, you've made a transaction on the internet. So I recently bought a new laptop, nice and shiny Lenovo Yoga. I think it's a 520. I don't even know what it does, but it looks mint, and I look like $1 million when I'm holding it, right? So, but before I decided which one was right for me, you know what I did? I read through a couple of online reviews just to ensure that I was making an informed decision. And I was also looking at, forums. There's a lot of this stuff on YouTube, and you already do this where you go in and you discover, certain products based on the influencers that you follow and what everybody else thinks is cool and is actually working and also works for, whatever it is that you're paying for, And once I narrowed my search down to maybe a couple of models, there was the HP one that was there, but it just looked like a grandpa type laptop. The yoga one was the one that looked sexy. All right, and I narrowed it down to these two models, and then I went and I visited the shop, just to examine the specs in person before I actually committed, because I just wanted to see it in person, and then I'd come and buy it either on Amazon or some other online space that had a discount or something like that. And to phrase the above scenario that I'm talking about, right, slightly different, I was pulled into, to consider a certain brand due to the laptop marketing that was around me. I was pulled into different brands. There's tons of brands out there, but I was pulled into these two just because they were the ones, the influencers that I was looking at were using, and I wanted to be, like them. You know what I mean? And then I was pushed into selecting the right one for me by going to the store and reading the marketing materials and seeing what that person did for me in person and if it actually worked. One other thing that I also look at in a laptop is how powerful the camera is, because I do a lot of Zoom meetings. All right. So like I was saying, I was pulled into that consideration, and I was narrowed, to two brands based on what I was seeing around the marketing of those brands. And I was pushed, to go to the shop to actually see it in person. So this is just one example of how push and pull marketing work both in hand, and they also work separately in order for you to get your customers to convert. All right. So if you're not doing stuff to bring your audience or to educate your audience on the existence of either your coaching, your training, your information, your expertise, which is the push strategies, then you're missing out on, people then making an inquiry or people booking a call with you. How are they going to know you exist if you're not letting them know of your existence? Okay. We get paid in direct proportion to the value that we're bringing to the marketplace. So if you have identified your target market and you really know what it is that you can help them, you definitely want your market to find you on their way to making a decision. So how do you do that? You put stuff out there like this podcast here. This is part of push marketing. I'm making you aware of my existence. And then maybe if, this podcast, strikes a nerve or something like that, you will then come around and see what it is that we're doing at Live Long Digital in order to help coaches and consultants have businesses that are profitable and enjoyable. So every single day, I make sure that I put out a podcast that is 30 minutes long. And that's my push marketing. And the podcast goes with a blog, or I write an article around it. That's also push marketing. When people are trying to find out who you are, and not necessarily that, but, they are, you are attracting them towards you. You have to put out push marketing, so that will be whatever you do on your website, the blog content you put out there, whatever social media that you're putting out there. While people are scrolling through, they'll be like, okay, this might sound like something that I'm looking for. Or if you put out any sponsored ads or any guest blogs, that's your push marketing. So push marketing is when you're deliberately getting in front of the prospects and you're pitching your services. All right. What have you done today in order for you to get in front of the right kind of people with the right kind of pain that will be, looking for the services that you are able to help them with? So the goal of you doing any push marketing is to bring what you offer to your customers, and this will be through whatever marketing that you would have done. It could be your blog, this podcast, it could be YouTube, whatever it is. That's push mechanisms. All right. And for instance, you can push your products via content marketing or on social media. Okay. What have you done today to instigate push marketing? All right. And then let's explain what pull marketing is. Okay. Pull. When you're pulling something, you're drawing it towards you. This is when, if you're doing pull marketing, you're creating and publishing content that a prospect might actually find, might consume, and might be impressed by. Okay, what are you doing in order to bring people closer to you, get people to know, like, and trust you? And we all understand that people do business with those they know, like, and trust. Okay, so let's just maybe go a little bit deeper and put a bit of meat around these words, and then I'll be giving you the bonus of engage marketing a little bit later on. So let's start off with push marketing so that you have a very clear distinction of what all this means. Okay, so push marketing is usually known as direct marketing. So if you're going to be looking for books on Amazon, or if you're going to be looking on books, or podcasts, anything to do with direct marketing, that's what push marketing really is. And it's a form of pretty much the general adverts that you see out there. If you see somebody's brochure, if you see somebody's blog or somebody's podcast, all of that is push. All right. And some, I'm actually listening to myself talking right now. Some methods of marketing might overlap both, the push and pull, but you get the drift, right? So when you go out grocery shopping, right, you're looking for signs that maybe tell you if there's a sale or if there's, something that is cheaper. All of that is push marketing, all right? It gravitates you towards that particular product. And then when you pick up that that fruit or whatever it is that was on sale, you never knew you needed it. Okay, it was pushed to you and then it was placed in your hands, and eventually you're like, you know what, I could use onions in my soup today. Okay, that's an example of push marketing. What have you done to place your product in people's hands? All right, I'm not talking about spamming people or anything else, but if somebody's walking in a shopping center and then you sort of stop them and then you place your business card in their hands, or you do something to introduce yourself to them, that is push marketing. So if you want to understand push marketing, let's consider what can I say? Somebody who's just getting started, all right? So let's say you want to put out your consulting, your training, your information, and your expertise, all right? You just maybe getting started, or you really want to make a big launch, all right? But the local businesses or the people that you're trying to reach out to have no idea that your company even exists, which is what every one of us is going through right now. So your job is to find out how you can place your business in their face, how you can place your business in front of them. Okay, so you reach out to these businesses, you reach out to your prospects. You could do this via email marketing, and you could put ads in your local area, depending on what your service is, and then you can actually create social media posts, and you can create a social media page just so you can expand your reach for those people that are near you. All right, because your goal is to introduce your company to the people that would buy from you immediately. All right. So, and if this is a launch, you really want to make a profit immediately. Push marketing is usually an effective way to get the word out about what you do and what it is that you're offering. Okay. And once people have gotten to know about you, you're now in their radar. They can't unlearn what they already know. So for businesses that have been around maybe for a while, but still want to execute, maybe a new product or maybe a new strategy, you want to maybe give a limited time offer on your product, you want to use a channel that gets you to target your market immediately, and it gives them a call to action to work with you. All right. So pull marketing now. Pull is when you are, like I said, creating and establishing content that your prospects might find and consume and actually be impressed by. Okay, so let's talk about pull marketing a little bit. Now, pull marketing is best when you want to actually draw people to your product, and the goal is to create loyal customers by providing marketing materials that showcase what they're looking for. We get paid in direct proportion to the value that we're bringing to the marketplace. If you're educating your audience, if you're helping them by actually helping them with content, with information that helps them make a decision, you, my friend, will be among the people that will actually be collecting money from them. All right. So, for instance, if somebody's looking for maybe a new babysitter, you could go to a place where it's a platform for babysitters. There's platforms like K.com or Babysitters Inc. or things of that nature. And then you can select a babysitter based on the list of preferences that specifically show, their fit or their needs. All right. So in an age where our customers literally know a lot more than we do, don't underestimate those people, because they are, researching prior to coming to work with you or something like that, because nobody wants to be thought of as an idiot. All right. So they're doing a lot of research before they actually come to us. So pull marketing has become vital to, places where there's a lot of consultants or a lot of trainers. You know what I mean? And especially in this world where there's apps and there's just about every information you can think of, pull marketing shows how you are unique as a brand. How do you stand out in a sea of Me Too people out there? So if you remember when we started the podcast, I was asking you, what have you done for your business today? You can now notice that there's so much that you can do in terms of marketing your business. And if you're just starting out and you're promoting your business once in a while, then all you're gonna be having is crickets. But if you know what I'm about to say right now, you will eat the bugs and enjoy yourself. But I know, as an entrepreneur, marketing is just one aspect of running a successful business. You go from hiring and managing new staff, balancing books, and maybe you want to drive growth to your business, and it all feels like a constant balancing act where you are pulled in multiple different directions all at once. You want to be able to have marketing that's pulling your customers towards you while you're busy putting out fires or whatever it is that you're doing in your business, because you don't want to ever go without a consistent flow of leads. All right. So if I'm to put this into context, maybe of another sort of business, let's look at an example. Let's say you're a coach or a fitness trainer, right? And when businesses are looking for somebody who can talk to their staff about looking after themselves while working from home, you as a coach, you want to put your information out there and you want to make it readily available. YouTube videos, blogs, downloads, anything that you can put in front of them so that they can easily reach and make a decision to buy from you. So pull marketing channels are exactly what you need to achieve this. All right. If customers are looking for the service that you are providing and they already know what it is, you want to put this information also in front of them. Okay. So at the end of the day, you want to amp up your pull marketing, which basically could be things like SEO, because they're going to look it up online and say, hey, who does this near me? Okay. And just make sure that you're discoverable. If the market already knows what it is that they're looking for, and that you've got reviews, that are readily available for people to, work with and actually help them make a decision. Okay. And pretty much if you have all that information around and if you can use it to your advantage, you, my friend, will be able to generate hundreds of qualified leads like clockwork. You'll be pushing, stuff out to them, those that are not quite aware of who you are, and you'll be pulling those that are already on their journey to ensure that, they start working with you. So they could be a confusion around which is which. So let me give you some things that you could have done in order to market your business. So let's start off with push marketing. All right. So with push marketing, you can phone a prospective client or past client. These are people that already know who you are, what it is that you're doing. They're not going to hang up in your face. Okay. So you can proactively reach out to these people and ask them, hey, what's going on in your business? Is there anything I can help you with currently? Oh, do you know anyone that I can help that you know? Okay. So things of that nature. And if you're proactively marketing, like maybe you can email a list of prospective clients and offer them to join a webinar or offer them a free consultation. Those people were probably doing something in their life, but then you've just put it in front of them that, hey, I could be of help. All right. Or maybe you can send a snail mail letter, a postcard to a list of prospective clients, or you can send birthday gifts or anything of that nature. Just putting and placing your brand and your information in front of people unexpectedly. That is push marketing. Or you can even speak at a local business meeting, and that's how a lot of people get discovered. Or you can be interviewed on somebody else's podcast. That in and of itself puts you in an audience that we're never going to find by yourself. All right, now let's look at pull marketing. All right, so pull is when you're sitting down in your office and you're thinking, what am I going to do? You can publish a post. You can write an article on your website. You could write a blog post on your website. You can put out a social media post out there. You can approach other guest other bloggers and ask to be a guest blogger, or maybe you can reach out to other podcasters and ask to be on their podcast. You could call a producer of a radio show or producer of a video show that you like. If they have segments around business, there's always things like that is happening. Instead of you just watching stuff on YouTube, why don't you find out if you can also be the producer of information like that? Okay. You can find platforms where, they are already curating content. All of that is pull marketing. You're placing your content in front of people so that they'll be able to connect with you at their own time. All right. Whenever they feel like. You could literally do a video and upload it onto YouTube. And the more people start connecting with you, then you, my friend, will be, obviously able to convert them into customers that pay, stay, and refer. But there's also one thing that a lot of people don't end up doing. Okay, you've done the push, you've done the pull, and you still have maybe 5 minutes to finish your podcast. Oh, that's exactly what's happening. All right, you can also engage with people, ask questions, okay? Don't just be the person who says, look at me, look at me. The internet is created around conversations, communities, and content. All right. So in your communities, amongst other coaches and consultants, people offering training or information out there, you might be on Facebook or on LinkedIn or on TikTok. Ask questions, connect with other people, find out what people are buying, find out why they're not buying from you. Network with other people through Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn or Google, whatever it is that is a platform that is a portal to your dream clients, and find relevant groups that you can join on LinkedIn or things of that nature. Show up at networking events that have been designed for your prospects, not just for your own industry, because people show up where there's only accountants, and those people are not your customers. All right, if you're an accountant and you show up at an accountant convention, yes, you might want to learn what's happening in your industry, but you are not going to walk away with a long list of clients that are eager to work with you. Go and find out what other seminars are happening where your customers could be congregating, and then just go in and offer your advice, because you'll be the only person within your industry that is actually out there showing people you can help them by actually helping them. And when you are on blogs, you can comment on relevant blogs and actually put your name out there without even leaving your desk, or maybe have virtual coffees or virtual lunches with prospects and colleagues. Just keep connecting with other people and find out what it is that you can do every single day, throughout your business. So you can push, you can pull, you can engage. All right. So don't go telling me that I don't have anything to do, or I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing with my marketing, because there's 3 different categories of things that you can be doing: push, pull, and engage. All right. So in other words, it isn't hard for you to do something every single day to move yourself closer to creating a business that's profitable and enjoyable. And certainly what I said, it's not even complete. There's so much that you can do, and that's why it was so difficult for me to put it all out there, because some of the things overlap and you can seriously do something every single day. But there's enough out there for you to actually compile your own list of things that you are supposed to be doing, because there's people that just show up on their desk. They don't even know where to start. They don't even know what they're supposed to be doing. Make sure the first hour when you start your work is either you're doing push marketing or pull marketing before anybody has, gotten into your inbox and trying to give you, what to do throughout the whole day. Do something each and every day. Either you're pushing or you're pulling or you're engaging. Push, pull, engage. Push, pull, engage. Push, pull, engage. Push, pull, engage. Come on. Huh? Push, pull, engage. All right. Just always do something. All right. And don't always do the same easy thing that comes easy to you. Mix it up. Push, pull, engage. All right. And while you're doing something small each day, you can always add up, powerful things that keep repeating themselves. And if you find something that is actually working, do more of it. All right. It's not always about making a big splash from time to time. It's just a consistent, bidding on your craft and getting to understand your message and really clarifying that message so that your audience gets to understand you. But above all, remember that for coaches and consultants, there's no days off when it comes to marketing, all right? Promoting yourself and your services needs to be a part of your everyday work, all right? Don't leave it up to chance that people are going to know who you are or stumble onto your content and things like that. It doesn't work like that, all right? So if you'd like help to take advantage of you, implementing the push, pull, or engage trifecta into your business, I encourage you to schedule a call with me so that we can just have a look at what you're doing right now, and then we can actually enhance that. When we get on the call, this is what we'll do. We'll work hands-on with you to actually develop a strategic plan, the whole push, pull, and pull, and then we deep dive and work through, first of all, your ideal client clarity. Because if you're clear on who your target audience is, it's easy for you to push stuff to them, to write pulling content and actually engage with them. And then we'll then put out the strategic messaging that you're putting out, and look at your consulting offers or your coaching offers, and look at also your fees and your pricing. And then we'll look at the business model optimization to actually look and see if it actually can accommodate the push, pull, and engage sort of strategy. And once we've got that in place, guess what happens? I'll help you set up your marketing engine and your lead generation system so that you consistently attract the right kind of clients with the right kind of, pain, who are willing and able to pay, for your services. I want you to remember that there are no days off when it comes to marketing, because once you're out there, you're competing with people like myself. Now, I'm out there doing, pushing, pulling, and engaging. So promoting yourself and your services needs to be a part of your everyday work. Go push, go pull, and go engage. Bye for now.
Thank you for joining us today. If you have any questions, let's continue the conversation in the Live Long Digital community. Become a Live Long Digital community member today. This community is for ambitious entrepreneurs and small business owners with the drive to take control of the future of their businesses and achieve huge success without stress and overwhelm. As you heard, Prosper can help you by teaching you marketing strategies that work. So look no further than the Live Long Digital community of entrepreneurs and highly successful business owners. Join our community today. Find us on www.community.livelongdigital.com.au. Network with other driven entrepreneurs and find the expert guidance you need to take your business to the next level. www.community.livelongdigital.com.au